Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Batman Arkham City Hard Plus difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the Steelmill. So this is the secret hideout of Joker. We'll be coming here numerous times through the campaign, and that section we just passed over is this is kind of the tutorial area. It shows you that you can slide under things, it shows you that you can jump under things, it shows you can use your back claw, and later on we will be using gel. But it's just a quick run through of your gadgets, nothing too serious, nothing too difficult. But there are a couple of moments of this game where it doesn't necessarily signpost the best. And there are always the areas that it's to do with the sliding under the doors and things. There's a section coming up where you have to sneak into an old police station where you believe Mr. Freeze has been kept, but he isn't. And, spoiler alert, and you can power up the door, but it only opens ever so slightly, and I completely forgot that you could run and slide under things, so I was there for about 40 minutes wondering what the fuck I was supposed to do, and it's all because I'd forgotten this minuscule mechanic that was mentioned earlier on, and I just could not for the life of me remember that that's what you could do. And that's a bit of a shame, which sucks, but you get over it. So this section here, you would usually have to throw your bat thing, your bat disc, or whatever they're called, your bat shuriken, I can't remember the name of them right now, batarang, there we go, at that red button and it will turn off the steam. But because I have the freeze thing, I use the freeze thing because I wanted to use it, and it's kind of cool. And this section here looks real intimidating. There's about 50 guys in this room, but when we eventually turn up in that area we don't have to fight that many, so don't worry. And just get used to a bit of the first-person view, because just like Metal Gear Solid, you spend a little bit of time in this game in vents and in crouch spaces. I don't think you spend anywhere near the same amount of time as you did in the original Arkham Asylum, which, you know, take it or leave it. I don't know if you enjoyed those minutes, but I certainly did. This game relies more on flying around the city than it does messing about in drainages and vents and what have you, but it's all good. And it's a little bit of a maze, that first one. It's a little bit of a labyrinth, so you want to be careful of it. But keep pushing forward. Watch out for the steam. Steam will mess you up, son. So there he goes. And what you've got to do here is you've got to turn around. You've got to go straight through this area and turn off the pipe. And to turn the pipe off, if you press the left trigger 3 times, you will throw 3 batarangs, and they will hit those buttons and deactivate them. But I always wondered about Batman from a logical perspective. The guy's practically just an average dude, who admittedly was built like a tree, wearing a cape, some tights, armour, and carrying illegal weapons. So I just don't understand how he could be so empowered by just putting on the outfit, because unless he was a master gymnast and, you know, an athletic champion, some kind of, you know, just ridiculous Adonis of a human being, how the hell would he be able to do what he's doing? And obviously it's a comic, so he can do whatever the hell he likes, and it's down to interpretation. But even so, you look at it from a logical perspective and you just think, how does he not get tired? How can he hoist his entire body weight up when he's wearing all that shit? And there's so many hows, you probably just get lost in them. But I should talk about the combat, because right here is, do you see that guy there who's dressed like a nutcracker? Well, I just took out, admittedly. He is an armoured dude, and what they do is, if you try to attack him front on, he will screw up your combo and he'll block it. The only way to attack him is to press B to stun him and then attack. And what it will do is it will then put you into this sequence where you can bash X and you can beat his tits off, because you go into something called the beatdown mode, which increases your combo meter awesomely, stuns him indefinitely, but leaves you very vulnerable to people trying to gang rush you from behind. And a really good strategy to build your combo and to get more experience and to, you know, just get better at the combo system is to use him to build the combo. What I do through this guide for easy and for just to make it, you know, a much less challenging experience is I save up for my execution moves, which are the special moves you get every 6 combo points, and I will use that to kill whatever I deem the toughest in the room. So right then you'll notice, if you watched closely, I don't know how closely you're paying attention, I use one of those moves to kill him really quickly. Sometimes that's not the best option. For instance, if you're doing the challenge room, you never want to do that, because you're potentially stopping a combo builder. He's the guy you can farm for combo points, and that's what you want to do. But in the campaign, if you're just going straight for completion, make sure you use those abilities to kill the dudes you don't like, to kill anybody who's a pain in the ass. And that to me is anyone with a shield, anybody with anything that isn't the bare hands and no armour. Because everyone else are douchebags. But what we're doing now is we're moving through the steel mill because we need to pick up a new piece of equipment for Batman. And it's going to give us some pretty cool abilities, so it's a nice tool, it's a nice addition. But to get into this room, you need to come over and throw your batarang at that buzzer to start the conveyor belt, and then you can move into the room from a different angle. And this is, I believe, one of the first fights that is actually different from the first playthrough. My only problem is I did the new game plus and my new game in 2 days in a row. So I did it on the first day, then I did it on the second day, so I can't quite remember the subtle nuances of these experiences, so I won't be able to point out what's different if you're doing it from scratch. But what I will say is my version will be more challenging than yours if you're on a new game, because it's just set out that way. So this hopefully should help you take on that situation regardless. But this one doesn't matter, because you'll notice I deactivated both those guys' guns and I take out the other guy. And you don't need to do this because you can take them all out silently. None of them have the heartbeat monitors or any of that stuff, and this is designed in such a way that you can get behind all of them and kill them in sequence. But I was in, guide making mode. I was being as tentative as I could, trying to play it intelligently, and it turns out this is a cutscene with playable characters in it. It's nothing more than a tutorial, so don't overthink it like I did. Get yourself down there and kill some dudes. And it's funny I can say that now, but at the time I was probably really nervous because you die so quick from people with guns when you do not upgrade your armour. You will die in 2 shots pretty much. 2 bursts is enough to kill you if they shoot you correctly. Sometimes you can survive a little bit more. It all depends on what gun they're using, what distance they are from you, and how aggressive they are with the trigger. And don't get me wrong, I have died a shit ton to bullets on this game. It got to the point where I thought they were ruining it, but it's all because I didn't upgrade and I wanted that extra challenge, so you have been warned. But once you've taken care of those guys, you can come through here to the smelting area, and here's a nice little introduction to an armoured geezer. Biggest problem in the stealth areas when you've got armoured dudes is you cannot do the conventional takedown to them because they block it, and for some reason I didn't read the memo that Rocksteady sent out explaining this, so I tried to do it and I ended up getting my ass handed to me by a dude with a shotgun. But what you want to do to those guys, if you can do an inverted takedown, that will kill them. If you can knock them down and then do a ground takedown, that will kill them. Just don't try and do the silent takedown because it is not a win button as it usually is. But this is a room you're going to venture into once more later on in the game, and it is significantly harder then. So you see that little house that I'm flying over to now? This is the best spot in the room for using the backlaw to pull people off the balconies. And remember that if you're ever in here and you can't use a gargoyle or do any takedowns, you can really use this tool to your advantage to fuck some dudes up. But these early guys, none of them have heartbeat sensors or anything like that. None of them can lay mines. They're all standard dudes, so take them out however you want. I'm going to be using the disruptor a lot because it stops them from being able to shoot me. And if there's ever 3 people in a room, disrupt 2 of them and attack the one you haven't disrupted. It's that simple, because as you're executing him, his buddies will try and shoot. Their guns will not work. It is a super good strategy. Ooh, that's interesting too. That right there, that little blue conical visor vision that guy just did, if I was sat on that gargoyle, he would have seen me then, because he has thermal vision. But what happens is, you can buy an upgrade that conceals you from that guy's vision. And in all honesty, you don't need to buy the upgrade if you don't want to, so I would definitely, get it later on if you're going for the achievement, because I have never been caught by one of those thermal guys, not even once. I've never even been stared at. It's one of those things that just doesn't happen. So, right now, I know that other guy's got an immobilized weapon, so I could just go to town on this dude and Chuck Norris his face in like I just did then. He drops his gun, tries to run away, I cruise through, take him out. And that's a room cleared. There's some lovely bats for experience. And all that's left... Oh no, sorry, this is not the room cleared. There's just 2 guys left over here. So, there are a few ways to take this on. One guy's going to move the room. He's going to move the room? He's not going to move the room. He's going to move out of the room, sorry. I swing over, do the inverted takedown. This would usually make him come out of the room, but I think because he has a hostage, he goes all pussy on us, and he'll just sit in there. So he will patrol around the hostage, and the best thing I found was to keep crouched and do a window takedown. It's super simple, super easy, and it gets the job done. there you go, good night. But the room is down, mantle through the window as gracefully as I did. Smashing shit and wrecking homes, and free the paramedic. So here's a little bit more exposition on the Joker situation, which is a really weird one in this game, because the Joker's got a disease, obviously, from the last game when he infected himself with Titan and it's killing him. And the plot on this goes in some really weird and dark territory. It's pretty crazy. But there's the item we came for, the remote electricity charge gun thing. And it's going to enable you to go through any of those roller doors that you've been seeing along the way. You just shoot the top trim where the engine is to power it up, and then you can progress onwards. And the reason we took this detour to get it is so that we can go to where Harley Quinn was and use the magnet and this gun to throw the big hook on a chain into the doorway and open it up so that we can progress to where the Joker is. So, if you didn't know why you did it, now you do. And there's going to be a lovely fight with one of the game's new enemies, which is a guy with one arm, which you would think would be less of a threat, but it turns out this guy's roided up. He's roided to hell, man. He makes Chris Benoit look like a lightweight, and he's got a giant weapon, be it a big stone hammer, a big, sledgehammer or spike. It doesn't really matter what he's got. At the end of the day, if he hits you with it, you're going to feel it. You don't want to get hit with it at all. But there's one major flaw with the design of this enemy is you can chain the beatdown moves like I just did to that guy on the one-armed geezer, and all you have to do is as soon as he goes to swing, jump over him and then carry on his back. As soon as he goes to swing back, jump over him and carry on. And you can chain these guys to get 40, 50, even 60 plus combos. They are really, really fun to use. The only problem is getting used to fighting them. They do have a jump attack and they do have a wide range attack, which is a pain in the ass, especially in the challenge rooms. But yeah, I'll probably talk about that when we're fighting him, which is possibly going to be in the next video. But just backtrack through the Steelmill. This game can be a pain in the ass for backtracking. It'd be nice if it had the dead space, line on the ground to show you exactly where to go. Although some people think that's probably spoon-feeding it too much to you. I would prefer it because Arkham City is a big place, and getting lost in it is the last thing you want. But there's the magnet up there. If you shoot the magnet with the gun, it'll put a positive charge into it, then you can reverse the charge and open up the next doorway. But that's the end of this section, guys. I hope the guide's helping. If you like what I do, please subscribe. It'll only build and get better, and you will be a part of it. And as always, you take care now.